Alright, here's the plan for today. I'm on my website right here, and we changed it up in the schedule. This audio mix 1 was going to be yesterday, but we had the convo. So we're bumping this audio mix number 1 back to today. Alright, on my help page here, if you go to the Business Information Technology section, you'll see audio mix number 1. And here we have a little guide for what we're going to be doing. We're going to use a website today called Soundation.com, and you can make little kind of beat mixes, music mixes on this website, which could actually be very useful in a lot of situations, more than you would think. So I want to get you a little bit of experience with this. Alright, so this is, we're going to look at, here are the requirements, and this will make more sense in a minute when I get to the website. Today, at least 5 audio tracks or channels, at least 24 measures, and then you have to save your mix on your network drive, and you could just call it Mix 1. That would be a good file name, and turn it in on Schoology. On Schoology, it is this Soundation Mix 1. That is the link for the assignment. I've got some tips here that I'm going to demonstrate once I get to the website. So I'm not going to read all of that, but I'll just show you. I'll do a little run through of what I would like for you to do. Alright, so I'm going to go over here to New Tab. I'm just in a browser. This is an online thing, so I'm at a new tab, and I'm using Google Chrome. It's okay to do that. And it is Soundation.com, not SoundNation. Be careful. It doesn't have an N in it. It's Soundation. And here we go. When you first get to Soundation, it will look like this. We're just going to launch the studio, and the studio will look like this. Now, a couple of things about this today. Over on the left hand side, you see these audio tracks or channels, channel number 1, 2, 3, 4. This bottom one you notice is blue. It's what's called an instrument channel. We're not even going to mess with instrument channels today. So what I would do is click once on this blue instrument channel and touch the delete key on the keyboard and get rid of it. Don't even need to worry about it today. Next step. The requirement today is that you have 5 tracks or channels. And so what do we do here? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I come right down here to the bottom left corner. There's a plus sign. It's not the plus with the music note. It's just the regular old plus sign. So I'm going to click that plus sign, and oh looky, now I have 5 audio channels. Great. The next requirement, you might remember, was 24 measures. If you'll look right up here, it looks like a ruler that's running across the top of this program here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are measures. And so 24 is the requirement today. You could go longer than that if you want. Now let's start putting in a little some beats, some music here. All right, cool. Now you can get content out of any of these folders over here on the right hand side under the library, except you're going to want to completely avoid the MIDI part, because that has to do with the instrument channels that we just deleted, so don't even bother with the MIDI. You could investigate some of these electronica, maybe some of the urban. I'm just going to stick to this last folder right here. It says extra diverse, because I know there's a lot of good stuff in here. Alright, so I'm just going to click that little triangle that twirls it down. It shows me a lot of good stuff in here. Now here's the next little tidbit that is good to know. You see on these are little like audio clips, loops, whatever you want to call them, and you'll see a number in front of them. That number is beats per minute. And it's a good idea as you're building things in different channels over here to use the same beats per minute on all of your channels. They're just going to fit together better. It's not that you have to do that, but it does work. It's easier, works better. And so, you know, I'm looking at all these 110s, and there are a bunch of 110s, so I can try them out. Or there's a whole bunch of 120s, 120 beats per minute. So I'm probably going to pick stuff that's all 120, just because there's a ton. And down here at the bottom there's some 140s, and then it kind of cuts back to some 93s. So again, it's not that you can't use those. There's some 125s in there too. It's not that you can't use those, but you have the widest variety. If you want to kind of do the thing where you kind of stick with, things are the same beats per minute, you've got the widest variety in the 120s. All right, now, what do they sound like? How do you know? Well, here's something you can do. There's an auto audition box here. You could check that, and then if I click on one of these, it plays for me. And right over here, oh, I hit the wrong thing, sorry. I have to hit that again. There we go. And let me hit that again. All right, great. Accidentally created something on channel 1 that I didn't want. All right, got it. So again, if auto audition is turned on, then you can click a file and you can hear it. All right. Now, the other way you could hear these is just kind of drag them over here, and this is what you really wind up doing. You drag them over here and drop them into the channel that you want. Like I just dropped this on channel 1, and you can kind of drag up here on the ruler to pull the little play bar, and like there's a play button down here on the control panel. And then I can hit the play button again to stop it. Play, stop, play, stop, like that. Now, what if you put one on here and you're thinking, well, it only lasts 5 measures. I want it to last longer than that. Here's what you do. Grab the top right corner and drag it. See, I've got that out to 10 measures now. And these are loops. They're going to loop over and over. So you can keep dragging. And I'm over here to where I'm at measure 12. And it looks like I'm running out of space. But if you just keep dragging, this will slide. It will kind of slide over for you. And remember, measure 24 is our requirement of the day. Now, actually, I'm going to drop this out at about measure 16, measure 15. And you can kind of do your own thing. There's a scroll bar down at the bottom. All right. So again, if I rewind this to the beginning and hit play. All right, that's what I've got so far. But now I want to start mixing in other beats, kind of at different times, and put it together sort of the way you want. So I'm going to try this beat bry 1, and I'm going to drop it over here at about measure, I'll go measure 4, after measure 4. And then, again, I'm going to stretch that. I want to stretch it, I want to loop it. And I'm going to take it out to about measure, I don't know, I'll go out to about measure 16 for right now. You can always change it if you want to. So what I got here is at the beginning, it's going to have this 1 beat. And then after measure 4, it's going to add another kind of beat to it. It's coming up here. Cool. All right. Now let's, and again, you'll just have to kind of play around with things and see what you like. But I'm going to throw in, what do I want to throw in now? I'm going to do this. I want to stick with the 120s. I'm trying to mix all 120s here. So I think I'll throw in a conga box. And I'm going to bring it in after about measure 8 right there. If you're a music person, this probably all even makes more sense to you than a lot of other people, right? So I'm going to stretch that out to about measure, I'll go through measure 18 there. Maybe I'm going to take this one out to about after measure 16. All right. Now let me kind of finish this up here. I want to work on finishing it up. I'm going to find another. And again, you can auto audition these things if you want to hear them before you drop them in. You have that option. But I'm just kind of picking some things at random, to be honest here. I'm going to pull in this synth file and drop it here. And we're going to take that up to about measure 20. After measure 22, we'll go one more measure so it finishes that loop. You can kind of tell by the little waveforms, where the end of their rotation or the end of their cycle is. You can tell if you look. And what else shall we throw in here? How about a little beat trickle? And that beat trickle isn't going to kick in for me until like after measure 16. and then that's going to be the thing that finishes my mix off. And I'm actually going to go a little bit past measure 24. All right. So let's see what I got here. I've kind of mixed in these different beats, and let's go ahead and play it. There's the conga box. Here comes my little, that's kind of weird, that synth file. Beat trickle coming in. They're all going to drop out now. There we go. I'm going to hit stop. So, you know, you can kind of arrange the little beat loops in there and stretch them out however you want to, but I've got 5 audio channels. I've got at least 24 measures, and that's what we're after today. And I kind of staggered mine coming in, so they come in at different times. And then you'll notice I also kind of dropped mine out at different times. They dropped out one by one, so that at the very end of my mix, I wind up with just this last. I've just got the, I think, beat trickle playing at the end. Now, in our next one, we're going to do another one of these on Monday, and we're going to get into a little bit more detail about things that you can do with these beat loops. But for right now, this is going to work. It's got 5 channels. I've dropped stuff out of the library in here and stretched it out. I've kind of got it arranged so it's at least 24 measures. And so I'm really pretty happy with it. So here's what you do now. To turn this thing in, you're going to come out up to this file menu here. And we're going to export a WAV file. Now, we're not going to, it would make sense if you come to this file menu, you're thinking, well, I'm going to do save as. No, not in this case. That's a different thing. On this website, that is a different thing. It doesn't do what you think it would do. So what we're going to do is go up to the file menu, and we're going to export a WAV file right here. Export WAV file. Click. It's going to process here for a few seconds. It's working its way through my little beat mix that I made, and it says your WAV file is now ready to be saved. All right, well, great. I want to save it. Now it's going to come up with a dialog box that we're pretty used to seeing, right? Because now I can go to my network drive right here. Terrific. It's called mix down, and that, you know, that would be okay. You could leave it as mix down. I'm going to change that a little bit. I'm going to say mix 1. All right, that'll work. And I'll go ahead and save that on my network drive. And so this has all been mixed together into one file. All right, and so on Schoology, you know, I would go to turn that in, and I would look for that mix 1 file on my network drive. So that's it. That's what I want you to do today. I want you to try out at Soundation.com. Oops, there it is. And you know, create that mix that's at least 5 audio channels, at least 24 measures. You know, kind of watch your beat numbers over here, whether you're doing 110 per minute or 120 per minute. You know, kind of do whatever you want there. But yeah, try it out. It's your turn.